Checking in with chapters 6 to 11 of Emerald Blaze, in number 5 in the Hidden Legacy series, where we're following Catalina Baylor in her investigation with Alessandro Secondo of a killing of a prime working in a construction site in this kind of big swamp-like region, which we've in is it Houston, near Houston, that we have done before, where I guess they tried to make a subway at one point, and it's a big swamp. They tried to push the water out, and the water came back in, and it collapsed, and it's just a complete dump. And then people started throwing, I guess, their magical toxins out there, and a lot of people, like people who were really messed up by the magic stuff or military magic stuff, ended up living there. And then these primes got together to try and make a construction site, like detoxify the area and turn it into prime real estate. And then now one of them, Frederick, whatever his name is dead, and it turns out that there's something alive in this swamp. It actually might be the entire swamp, is what we find out in the sections. Uh, Katrina and Alessandro go out to question one of the guys, and are attacked by these really odd constructs, part plant, part metal constructs, which shouldn't be a thing. Um, the guy out there almost gets sucked under and killed. They, just manage to just barely kind of um, beat it off. Um, and it's got one of these things where it's like it'll be plant matter all around it, and then in the inside of it, there will be spinning kind of discs with a blooming plant at the center of it. And Catalina is able to kind of psychically kind of touch the mind of it, because she's kind of her powers are very on the mind scale, even though she's a siren. And there is a intelligence behind it, but it's not a single mind. It's like weird, like it's a cloud with like different kind of like nodes and stuff like that, and it's just like bizarre. At the same time, a telekinetic is throwing knives at them, which seems to be like an actual, you know, human prime magic user is doing that at the same time. Um, they go to meet the second prime in this thing to question her, Cheryl, who is someone who makes constructs, and apparently unleashed one of her own to try and eat these razorback kind of things that are in the water. Um, apparently they were released in there, and they've been breeding, and they breed like a ton per time, and they have a fairly quick life cycle. So she released something into the water, a metal construct, serrated teeth into there, and either lost contact with it or lost control of it, and it's nowhere to be seen now. And as they're questioning her, not Nevada, Katrina notices, like, oh, everybody else here has, like, their models out in the museum of greatness that she has. Out front has, a prototype with a 1 in front of it, but all of Cheryl's constructs all have like high numbers. She hasn't actually created anything original of her own, and it's like, oh, what would she do to get that far? And basically through the conversation, Catalina realizes you killed him, probably killed him to probably prevent uh, stuff from being revealed, strung him up, at which point this plant metal construct thing reached up to try and drag him into the water, and then she used the blowtorch on it to get him away, which explains why the corpse has got like all this. It's a snap neck, all these kind of bruising and horribly charred legs. It's like, why the fuck would all that? It's like, that's what probably it is. And then toss the flamethrower into the water, because Alessandro's power, he can summon weapons anywhere nearby. And when he was fighting the construct, he summoned whatever nearby weapons, and suddenly he had a flamethrower in his hand, an exact copy of the one that was, because he can do general spatial placement. It's like, it was in the water. She tossed it in there. One of the murder weapons, or at least one of the weapons that mangled the body. So she goes to talk to a friend who is also a construct maker, and it's like, can these things get sentience? And it's like, not really. They sort of do if-then loops and stuff like that, but they're not nearly as, they can't be anywhere near as complicated as a human mind. And it's like, yeah, and she kind of describes all this stuff and shows her the thing and says, and I think that she gave it the serum, the highly prescribed serum that had gotten stolen, and she's got some, and she gave it to the construct because she desperately wants to make something new. And it's like, holy fuck, because the person who's the construct maker is like, look, if that is the case, we will all be dead, because that thing will grow and grow, and it will see us as threats, and it will come for us, and it'll be super aggressive, and it will just exponentially grow and grow and grow. It's like, you have to kill it. You have to kill it all. All that cloud you saw with all those multiple different nodes, each one of those nodes is capable of regeneration. You have to kill it all, and you have to kill her, because the knowledge of what she did, how she did it, has to die with her. And indeed, using a serum, without, using that serum is horribly strictly verboten in this world. It's like it got out for a bit, and they clamped it down, and they locked it up, and it's gotten out again, but it's like, it's super, basically the worst thing that you can do. And it's like, you have to kill her. It's like, I will watch, and she's like, Catalina's like, okay, I will watch her die, because yes, she's going to have to be executed for that, if that's indeed what she did. So yeah, that's where we're at, kind of a threat of world domination. It's interesting, because I think of the Synthetic Men of Mars by Edgar Rice Burroughs, and the vat that was growing and growing and growing, and was going to spread over the entire planet if they didn't destroy it all. Much like this, this kind of, it's a square mile large at this point. It's like the swamp. It's like, you're going to have to like nuke it or burn it or do something to kill it, every single scrap of it. It is it's sort of like the Synthetic Men of Mars concept there. We also get a lot of hot stuff between Alessandro and Catalina, because she gets injured, and she has to undress a bit, and he's touching her, and he's like, gently caring for her, and it's like, and there's this whole thing of her being a strong, capable, again like Nevada and Connor, there's this whole thing of, she's a strong, capable woman, but being held by a strong man and feeling making her feel safe is just like, we're twinging in here on core female fantasy stuff. It's just like, of a strong male who's going to make me feel safe, even while I'm a kick-ass, wonderful, beautiful woman. And he is, of course, a playboy millionaire, influencer by day, ninja assassin with a dark tortured past by night kind of thing. So it's like, it's so much, it's so much fun that way, as well as just kind of this kind of interesting fantasy world. It's sort of, I don't think it doesn't go that deep, but I don't think it needs to go that deep to have a fun adventure. All right, more videos later.